All right. Hello, my name is Kate, and I'm the Executive Director of Redwood Literacy. And we have, over the last year, created some accompanying materials to go along with the Writing Revolution, which is one of our favorite written expression curriculums. Now, if you are familiar with the Writing Revolution, you know that it's the book that you can buy, which you need to buy and you need to read it. It's amazing. It provides you kind of the scope and sequence of skills, but it does not provide lessons. And the point of them not providing lessons, the authors of the books, of the book, is because they want you to tie your written expression instruction to the content that you are doing in your classroom, which is an amazing idea and something that we do at Redwood and is highly, highly effective. However, we also understand that having pre-planned lessons can be super helpful, especially as you're getting to understand a curriculum. And so what we've done is we've created short, like 10 to 15-minute little mini lessons to accompany the scope and sequence of the Writing Revolution, to give our instructors so that it gives them a starting point. And we've made them short and very repetitive because the population of students that we work with are mostly students with dyslexia or other literacy-based learning struggles. And so we recognize the value of multiple exposures. Kids need to see the same skill over and over and over with slight variations here and there in order for them to retain it. And then once they've retained it, in order for them to produce it, replicate it, and produce it themselves. So our 10 to 15-minute mini lessons are just designed around random content, and we encourage you to tweak it to match your content, to match the students in your classroom, your name, things that you like, things that they know about you, kind of like what we've done, and you'll see as you dive into the curriculum. And then we've kept it short on purpose because then we want you, if you have a full writing block, we would encourage you, like the authors of the Writing Revolution encourage you, is to use those skills across the content that you're doing in your classroom. I hope that makes sense. So I'm just going to show you. This is our TPT store where you can buy these units that we sell to accompany the Writing Revolution. We have 7 units available. We are almost done with the entire book. And once we have released all of the units, we'll bundle them together so that you could purchase the student and teacher materials for the entire book. But today I'm just going to talk about Unit 1. Unit 1 is all about writing beautiful, amazing, complete, robust sentences. We want to make sure our sentences are not fragments. We want to make sure our sentences are not run-ons. We want to make sure our sentences make sense and that they include rich content and rich detail in order to communicate really awesome information. So you'll notice that we have 2 sets of materials. We have to accompany the Writing Revolution Unit 1 student materials, and then to accompany the Writing Revolution Unit 1 lesson plans. So I'm going to show you the lesson plans first. All right, so here's the lesson plan for teachers, and you can see this has 13 lessons for 13 weeks. And when we say 13 weeks, we're talking 10 to 15-minute lesson plans for 4 days in a week, Monday through Thursday, because we use Fridays here at Redwood for assessments and STEM and all sorts of things. So that's how we've designed our curriculum. You could easily extend the weeks for 1 more day, just to give your students that multiple exposure. That would work just fine. And you can see here, if we view the preview, you can see at the beginning of each unit that we've created, you can see what the objective is for each week. So week number 1, students will be able to identify the difference between a fragment and a complete sentence, both orally and in written form. So we start with the verbal component. Can you recognize a fragment when we're just talking? Because if you can do that, then recognizing it in writing is going to be a lot easier. Once you see the list of objectives, we give you a snapshot, a preview of what kind of the lesson plan looks like, how detailed we get. And as you can see, we pretty much script it for you. Now, obviously, you can tweak this, make it your own, but we designed this for new teachers who are new to teaching written expression, and we wanted to make it very repetitive, again, to really meet the needs of the demographic of students that we work with. And we also wanted to make it accessible across age ranges. So you'll notice our content is pretty easily stretched to reach up to older students or accommodated to bring down to younger students. So we give you a script that what the teacher should say, and then we tell you what you need to tell the students to say, or I'm sorry, to do. And so you can see that it's short and sweet. 10 minutes is the goal of this mini lesson. And then once you've done our examples, you could easily tack on another 5 to 10 minutes where you're using, or even longer, where you're using the content from your whatever your unit you're currently studying with your students. And here's another week just to give you another example of what day 1 looks like. Again, 10 minutes. Here's the teacher directions. We give some examples. We give questions and discussion points for you to use with your students. Then I'm going to go back. We also have the student materials that accompany it. So for every teacher lesson, if we ask you to use like a graphic organizer or to do an activity, we provide a set of the student materials so that you do not have to create them. Obviously, you can tweak them and make them your own, adjust the content as needed, but we wanted to make it as easy as possible, especially for new teachers who are new to teaching written expression. So again, if we look at the preview, you can see how this is set up. The objectives should match the objectives in the teacher lessons, and then it gives you a hyperlink to the day, the materials for that day. The hyperlink is not going to work in the preview, but in the packet that you buy, it does work, where it takes you right to the student materials for that day. So it's very easy to access. You just always need to go to this first page and then jump to whatever day you're on, and it will take you there. It re-gives you the student directions, and then it gives you whatever materials you need. So for this activity, you need to glue some paper onto some popsicle sticks, and so here we have created it for you, so you just have to print and cut it out. Again, the goal is to make it as accessible as possible. And really, really easy to implement without a lot of preparation on your part, the instructor, so that then you can use your energy to extend the lessons across the content that you are teaching. Anytime we can tie background knowledge to vocabulary acquisition to written expression, the learning is magical. So this was just a quick snapshot of what the Unit 1 looks like. Again, the Unit 1 is all about writing awesome sentences. We've also bundled those 2 resources together for you. If you just want to make one purchase, it's cheaper to purchase the teacher and the student materials together. So I recommend that. They also are much more useful when they go together. So check that out. We have gotten lots of positive reviews on this product specifically, and are super excited about it. We use it at in all of our Redwood programming, and have seen it be really effective with a variety of students at all sorts of age ranges and grade levels, and writing levels. So we encourage you to give it a try. Thanks so much.